Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica, and I am your host.
My name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. Hello, and welcome to Trashy, where we take this. Sorry. If I had it memorized, I would have done it, and that joke would have killed, but it's fine.
Oh my God. Cassandra, I woke up this morning and I texted my partner and I said, I'm ordering donuts and a croissant from this place, his second favorite donut place. What do you want? And he tried to say, shouldn't we order from? And I said, no, you can go get donuts from somewhere else. I'm ordering in. And he's, because I want them here now. What I'll do is I'll just go get donuts from the other place and bring them to you. So you don't have to order the bundle of donuts we don't want. And you can just get the one donut you want instead of having to order the whole dozen in a variety pack. Because you just don't get to order one donut on Postmates.
Sure. So you played the long game and you won.
I won. Yeah. I didn't say, would you like donuts? I'm going to order. I said, I'm ordering. And I won.
Is there a major discrepancy in your house between who wakes up when?
Oh, no. Winston wakes up at least 1, if not 3 hours before I do.
That's so funny.
Every hour. Every day. Yeah.
Yeah. The behavior of getting a text message from bed as the person who also wakes up earlier, when that text message arrives, I always feel from like the other room from my partner, I'm like, are you awake now? Although sometimes he doesn't text me right away. I have to walk in and see him on his phone. I said, I thought you were sleeping. Get up. It's time for chores.
Well, sometimes I mean, most of the time I go to bed 1 to 3 hours after he does, though.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, our clocks sync up normally. Our
Sure.
clocks sync up, pretty well. But I had he did like a really big walk yesterday, and all over this week he's been doing a lot more yoga, and he's walking. And I got a knockoff Theragun from Amazon.
Oh, okay.
And it came with all these attachments, for the gun. You can put in all different looking ones. And I was like, here, I'll massage your leg in bed last night. I was like, before you go to bed, like a little baby, I'll just massage your little leg. And
I don't think you should use a baby in a Theragun, just by the way.
No, you should not Theragun a baby.
Yeah.
Do not Theragun a baby. I'm not a doctor or anybody you should take advice from normally. But that I will say.
Yeah. That shit's too intense.
But I was looking at all the attachments to be like, what would help him the most? And then one of them, I was just like, there is no scientific reason for this one to exist other than to go up your butt. Like, this is, I was like, I don't know what this is to help soothe other than.
This is for sex.
I was like, this is to go up your butt. Like, I can't imagine what this helps. Most of them are like foam and soft. And, I was like, no, this one's meant to be rinsed off. This one is for up your butt.
That's so funny. I mean, you're on Amazon. People can sell what they want to sell. Theragun can't put that out. They'll get called out for it. But if you're making the Theragun knockoff, throw it in for the butt.
Yeah. I think that's like their SEO keywords too. Or just like Theragun
massage the butt.
Question mark.
Yeah. I saw a couch on TikTok that this woman had, or that she was showing something for, and it was like a kind of curvy couch, and it was being touted as like a, good for your spine and like yoga couch. And this woman was like, okay. And then she bought it to show all the different ways that you can, and obviously how it was built for sex. Yes. And I was like, oh, not bad. I have no room for a sex couch, because I'm not a Rockefeller and I don't have a sex dungeon. But if I did, good investment, I think. It's like those couches we covered.
The Nug, the for the little kids, like the compartmentalized, the Nug Club, or not Nug Club, but the Nug or something. Yeah,
I don't know. We know what we're talking about. Do you, listener? Who cares?
The Nug After Dark. week.
Ooh. I want to get into why we're trash, but I have something that I need to get off my chest.
Okay, I'm ready.
As an avid TikTok user, and which is bad, I've been getting in my algorithm, you get those TikToks where it's like someone goes up to a random person on the street, says, "Hey, you look really great. Like, I'm a photographer. Can I take your picture?"
Oh,
and then
yes,
and then like the person's like, "Oh my God, wait," and then they like do like the little quick photo shoot. It's like a montage of it. And then all of a sudden you see the pictures after, and it's like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Like, whatever. So the way that trend started, obviously, is with like really great photographers. The way that trend is going is people trying to replicate it and be like, I'm a photographer or whatever. Like, and then I feel like the pictures are getting worse. Where it's like, I saw this woman and her bulldog in Central Park, and I asked if I could take their picture. Here's how they came out. And I'm like, these pictures look like shit. Like, I would be fucking pissed if I was out on my walk. I'm trying to get my fucking steps in. Some asshole's like, can I take a picture of you and your dog? I'm a professional photographer. And then I see them and they look like that. I'm like, what? Like, you suck.
And let us not forget, like, the serial killer, Rodney Alcala, like the dating game killer, was like a photographer and would come up to people and be like, can I take your photograph? I'm a photographer.
Let us not forget.
This feels like we're going to discover one of these TikTok photographers. It just has like a murder room of just photographs of people in his apartment one day.
They're overall, it's very underwhelming pictures, like the dog, and there's flowers, but like the flowers are not quite in focus in the way you want them to be, or the dog, like, and it's like, you wasted this person's time, and this is the best, and you posted this on TikTok, and these are the best photos you were able to procure. Like, this is embarrassing. You're just trying to be part of a trend, but like, take a composition class,
Yeah. It's not that the subject isn't beautiful in some way. It's just that the composition isn't worthy.
It's not where it needs to be to become viral. And I think that people are doing themselves a disservice, making themselves viral for being a shoddy amateur photographer.
Yes, I understand.
So, but what do I know? Let me ask you why you're trash.
Well, I was telling you briefly before, and I posted on my personal Instagram that I adopted, through a, donation, helped adopt an elephant, this week. So basically what that means is that I donated money to a refuge in Africa, and my money goes to help care for these animals and their rehabilitation if they've been endangered by poachers, and if they're not kept in the refuge itself, it helps protect the land that they are on the wild for and things like that. But the ad that I saw in the article that led me to this said, there have been too many elephants in Kenya because of the pandemic. You can buy an elephant. And for too long, maybe like 5 to 10 seconds, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna buy a fucking elephant. Like it said, like, you can buy an elephant, and I was like, I don't have a lot of money, but do I have elephant money? Like, could I buy an elephant? Like, I started doing the mental math, and I was like, I'm gonna buy a fucking elephant.
Let me ask you something.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, rather, let me just give you some self-preservation because I care about you.
Yeah.
Don't say I did the mental math.
Yeah.
And then come to the conclusion that you could buy an elephant. Because certainly somewhere in your head, you know that you can't buy an elephant. So I don't think you were doing very good mental math.
No. Again, quickly, I
did math.
I did math. And then I went, well, I don't have enough money to buy an elephant, but I probably know 5 or 6 people. And if we went in together, we could maybe collectively have an elephant.
For what?
Well, I don't know, because I clicked on the article. Again, it was late. I had had a couple glasses of wine and I was like, can I buy an elephant? I just want to see how much money goes into buying an elephant. And then it was like, oh, there have been elephants abandoned, all these baby calves essentially abandoned because of the pandemic, over, all this stuff, and your money will help get them into these refuge and preserve them, and and you can buy, you can adopt them for a year, and that's your quote buying
for a year.
Yes, and you get a little certificate that says you have helped adopt blank elephant. You get a monthly update and a photograph of the elephant, and all these things. But for like 5 to 10 seconds, I was sitting there going, oh, motherfucker, I'm about to buy me an elephant. Ooh. I felt like an oil tycoon, or like a land baron in like the 1910s or something. It's like,
or like a drug lord,
yeah, like Pablo Escobar. And I was like, I'm about to have like California's about to be overrun, like the drug hippos of Colombia. Like, I was like, California's about to become elephant rich because of my elephants.
How funny.
And anyway, but there's a beautiful, I'll post it on our socials and stuff like that, but there's a beautiful organization. There's a lot of these organizations that does, help preserve their land and rehabs calves and older animals that have been, endangered by poaching, or all these sorts of things that have, or abandoned by their their groups and things like that. And you get updates and all these things, and it's a really beautiful thing, but they, help, and, it's a really nice thing. But I did think for a little bit, sincerely, that I was like, how much does it cost to buy an elephant? You can't just buy an elephant. Anyway, I'm trash because of me. Sincerely clicked thinking I had the buying power to buy an elephant.
And trash because you wanted to become an eccentric rich person and own a wild animal, and the biggest one of all.
Yes, I was like, next a whale.
No, next you start hunting humans. That's how Most Dangerous Game works.
Yes. Like, and I get a plot of land and I start inviting drifters and strangers onto the land.
Erica gets a little bit of money, and all of a sudden she's like, we have 2 living rooms and I'm hunting humans.
Yes, but anyway, it's a really cool thing. And I have adopted Eleanor. And so now I tell my cats every day that they have a sister in Africa, and I show them pictures, and it's a really nice thing. But anyway.
Okay.
Why are you trash?
Last weekend we painted the bathroom. It was like a blue, a dark cobalt, if you will, slate blue. I don't know, who cares? We painted it now whipped peach, because it was like, we don't have a window in the bathroom. It was dark. It was dark in there. I wanted brightness. What's brighter than whipped peach? I love it. Okay. But we had to do a lot of primer to get that blue off. And my partner has told me over and over and over again that he doesn't like to paint. So I said, no problem. I'll do this all while you're out of town. And he knows me, and he knows when left to my own devices, I'm not going to do a very good job, because my ideas of what is perfect and what isn't perfect are different. If the edges are a little fucked up, I don't see it. That doesn't bother me. Anyway, so we did it together. We had to do a bunch of primer, blah, blah, blah. It looks cute now. The edges are still a little fucked up, but whatever. All that is to say, you paint and you get a little paint on you. Mm-hmm. That's just how it works. I got some paint on the back of my legs, and I'm not really spending a lot of time looking at the back of my legs. So I didn't get it off right away when I was getting like the rest of the paint off of me in the shower. And I was on a call with you, actually, sitting crisscross applesauce in my bed, and I got a view of the paint that was still on my legs. And this was like 4 days after the fact, after my painting. So primer is white. This paint on my legs, it was now like a silvery dirt gray.
Oh no.
And I've showered, like, obviously in like the 4 days between the painting and talking to you on the phone, which leads me to believe that I am the little kid from the Peanuts who always has a dirt cloud around him. Because how else can you explain the white paint on my legs being the color of dirt and dust? It made me feel bad. It made me feel gross. And there's still some paint on my legs. I can't get it off.
Have
the
you taken
dirt has
like
forced
gasoline? Doesn't gasoline get oil paint off or
Have
something?
I taken gasoline?
I swear that's a thing. I'm gonna Google it. I think that
Where do I get loose gas?
well,
I don't know how to even obtain gasoline. Like outside of going to a gas station and accidentally spilling some on me.
certain
you
kinds
mean
of paint
gasoline?
removers are extremely flammable. Wait, that's not what I'm asking. Can you use gasoline to remove paint? The use of gasoline can be effectively at removing troublesome paint, but it can also damage the paint if left or yeah, you can use gasoline to remove paint sometimes.
Erica, no, I haven't tried gasoline on my skin.
Well,
I'm
I don't know. I don't have an answer for where you can find loose gas. But
yeah, gas usually comes.
Get a gas, a tin, the red little buckets,
A gas can.
A gas can. Yes, thank you. And fill it up and then take it home, and then you take a washcloth and then flip you over and put a little on the washcloth and then rub it on your leg, so you're not Pigpen anymore.
I don't think that covering my legs in gas is gonna make me less of what I'm already nervous I am.
Listeners, if we can get 10 more subscribers at the $9.99 level by next week,
I am not gonna
I will take Cassandra to a gas station and hose her down with just a tube.
No,
I'll just take her to a fill-up station.
I don't consent to this.
And she won't know, and run her over with a little bit of gas on at the tank. I'll fill her up.
That's a very funny thing to do. So what'd you say? 10 listeners have to subscribe to our Patreon for 9, or what is it?
Just our anchor. Yeah. Our anchor.
Oh, anchor support. Yeah. Okay. So for $10, since $100 a month. Yeah. And I have to start, and you have to cover me in gas.
Just your legs, just the just under the knees.
Erica, I don't, that sounds dangerous.
We'll rinse you off once the paint's off.
How do you rinse off gas?
With water. Am I too country? This
yes.
This feels like a simple country solution. All right.
Sometimes you and I are the same. And sometimes we are very different. And isn't that beautiful?
That's beautiful. But you know what we would probably do? The same.
Fight
over $1.75 worth of sauce.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's get into our first story from WSBTV.com. 3 women arrested for brawl over $1.75 worth of sauce.
Chaos erupted inside of a New York City restaurant when customers became violent after they were told that there was a charge for dipping sauce for their French fries. Video posted online shows the violent food fight took place over the 4th of July weekend at Bell Fries on Manhattan's Lower East Side. Employees were left traumatized by the chaos that began just after 4 a.m. Can I give some advice just off the bat?
Yes.
If you have the 4 a.m. crowd coming in, don't charge for the fucking sauce.
No, yeah, that's a gratis. Yeah.
Certainly there's an early bird special or a late a night owl special where you're not charging $1.75 for dipping sauce to the 4 a.m. crowd.
Yeah, anything from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. is just a that's the chaos zone. That is the sweet, because 6 a.m. that's the workers' time. That's like
Sure.
on my way to work. But anything after midnight and before 6 a.m., that is, oh, we've just got done doing coke.
Yeah. I mean, look, bars in LA, they close at 2 a.m., right? 3 a.m., of course, is the witching hour. And 4 a.m. is when bars close in New York, which that's late. That's so. I remember being in my 20s and being like, 2 a.m. is too early. God, I hate getting kicked out of bars. Now I'm like, I wish I lived in New York. Like, why don't we extend it to 4 a.m.? Now, ugh, try to see me out past 12:30 without night on.
I went to a lovely quarterly wineries, like their quarterly celebration.
Oh, I wanted to ask you where you guys were. I saw your stories, but we can talk about it out there.
Yeah, our friend is a member of a wine club here in LA, and we went. We had our wine tasting, had a couple of glasses of wine. Guess what time I was home by? 9:30. It was beautiful. Had a again, full tastings, couple glasses there, home by 9:30. And I was like, this is how you do it.
I love being an adult.
How you do it. In my 20s, I wouldn't have left the house until 9:30.
I know. Isn't that crazy? I used to get off my bartending shifts at PF Chang's and I'd be home by 11 and then we would get ready and go out. That's fucking nuts. Anyways, two of the employees were hit in the head with glass bottles, claims one of the restaurant owners who was not present during the attack.
Probably because she was home asleep.
Yeah.
I assume those glass bottles were of ketchup. They didn't say in the article, but it's implied. Ouch. So the restaurant charges $1.75 for dipping sauce, but the customers didn't want to pay.
Extra sauce.
Yes. They wanted extra sauce for the fries. Rafael Nunez, the restaurant's chef and the person who recorded the video of the brawl, told Univision.
We explained that this is a business rule and that it's the same for everyone, but they didn't understand. So they started ripping apart and throwing everything in sight, even tearing down a plastic barrier bolted to the counter. The women are accused of throwing metal objects, destroying computers, and can be seen getting on the restaurant's counter and twerking. Well, I mean, what's a good food fight without a twerk break?
I feel like the women did understand. That's what made them so angry.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. This isn't a reaction to we're being treated differently because you're only charging us. This is a reaction to capitalism a little too hard.
Yeah, this is late stage capitalism. This is a rebellion. This should have kicked off the global rebellion. This is a revolution that nobody else got in line for. Like, they were like, we're fucking doing it. We're on the front lines, man. We're going to start at this restaurant and then everybody's going to get behind us. And by the time we look around, the whole street's going to be flooded behind us. And we're going to riot in New York City. And then we're going to start. And then by the time the papers hit in the morning, London's going to be on fire. You know what I mean? Like Jakarta, everywhere's going up in flames. And that's why we're twerking. We're twerking for freedom.
You have to, I mean, I'm pretty sure that I saw a scene just like this as a flashback in The Handmaid's Tale. This is how it starts, and you have to fight. Anyways, these three women all face felony charges, and apparently one of them was trying to steal money from the register. So that's cool. And you know what? Our next story is in New York, too.
Yes. New York, we're coming for your throat, Florida. That's their new state motto.
New York, we're coming for your throat, Florida pizza. Is that offensive?
I think it's okay.
They like pizza in New York. I didn't just make that up.
They're very defensive about it, too.
Hey, pizza, firefighters, the park, right?
Yeah. dog parks that are only for Frenchies.
Ooh, call back to the last episode. Okay. From NewYorkUpstate.com, an upstate New York driver is busted for a very poor attempt at a fake inspection sticker. Hey, I'm not a lawyer and we don't hand out advice on this podcast, but how many times do I have to say, if you're going to break the law in the car, like, fake registration or all these kinds of things that people initially start getting pulled over for, if you have these things going on, just be sober when you drive, lay low. Because spoiler alert, this person was drunk.
Yep. Yeah, he got busted for a very poor attempt at a fake inspection sticker written with a pencil and pen, and he was intoxicated. And so we'll post a photo of what the inspection sticker looked like. Here's the thing, buds. Again, don't ever drive intoxicated.
Never.
But god damn it, and you know where they posted it? You know where they fucking posted it? On the social media.
Oh, did they make jokes? A little jokey Facebook?
I don't think they made it on. They didn't make jokes, but of course the image went viral and social media went comments and shares and comedy,
What? Well, let's not throw stones from a glass house. Comedy. Speaking of comedy, I smell a rom-com with this next story.
Okay. I'm getting out the final draft.
According to BBC.com, pest controller called to a rat infestation finds a single rubber mouse. I'm so sorry.
A pest controller had a good laugh with a tenant when he discovered the rat infestation he had come to deal with was no more than a toy mouse.
He was called into a house in the St. George area of the city on Monday, and they said they spotted a mouse in a cupboard. I spotted a mouse in my cupboard, and it was either dead or perhaps in stealth mode.
This, of course, comes to us from the BBC.com.
Yes. He said that it was the easiest call out in pest history. He got ready. He got in all of his PPE, masks, everything. He opened the cupboard and discovered it was a rubber mouse that had been left there. The sort that you might stick on the end of a pencil.
No, Bubby. He said normally the job would involve lifting drains, looking for breaks where the rat can enter into the house, looking for breaks in fabric for mice ingress. So this really was the easiest job in my 29 years of working in pest control.
29 years. You kind of went down under there. I like it. They all sound the same, right? No, is that bad?
That's bad.
Okay. I'm trying to find the line. Okay. New Yorkers love pizza. British people and Australian people don't sound alike. Now I'm good.
Yeah. Listeners, write in again.
But be nice. I'm trying. Okay, so here's the rom-com, right?
Yeah.
A young woman who's in love with her boss, who doesn't love her back, of course, is going home from another long day of confusing flirting with him where he's really just taking advantage of her. And then she turns on Nora Jones, has a dance party in her room, like with a glass of wine, and sees the mouse and screams. Calls pest control, who shows up, handsome, by the way. He finds the rubber mouse. She goes, "Oh, it must be my brother. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, I can't imagine how everything is going to get any worse for me." And he goes, "Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I've never seen this before, but I've never really met someone quite like you before." And she goes, "What?" And then he just goes, "Anyways, bye." And then she can't stop thinking about him. And then it's Christmas and she's at the department store and she sees him, but then she hides, but then he sees her hide and he goes over to them. Anyways, they have coffee and that's the rom-com. That's how it's kind of, you can see where it's going to go. They're going to end up together, obviously.
Well, and then something goes wrong, and so she has to keep buying fake mice and hiding them in her home
Yes,
to get him
absolutely.
over. Yeah. Well, and then the pest control company sends the wrong person over time.
Yeah.
So then there's a
Yeah.
montage of people showing up that's not Mr. Leonard, and then she just shuts the door in their face. And so she calls, and there's another person, and eventually it's Mr. Leonard again.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense for me.
It's got legs. Yeah, it's got legs. We'll do a rewrite, but yeah, it's got legs.
Of course.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Hollywood, hit us up.
We're waiting for your phone call. I can't leave my landline. Oh, I didn't see this until just now, but you left a note for me in this story. It just says a time traveler ? So I'm gonna go ahead and let you read through it.
Okay.
While I hypothesize if this was in fact a time traveler.
Okay. From kpcnews.com. Man facing charges after naked scuffle with police. A Hillsdale, Michigan man arrested by Angola police officers Tuesday after he was seen running around naked near and in an Angola business, then got into a scuffle with police as they were trying to take him into custody.
Okay.
The 21-year-old man had to be forcibly subdued by two Angola police officers, Mike Kling and Jason Justice. That's not a real police officer's name.
Oh!
Anyway, that happens. I mean, if your name's Jason Justice, this is like you have two. That's like you become a police officer and then eventually you get a master's degree in criminal justice and you become a judge, right? It's your only two options. Anyway.
Well, you could also become a stripper.
Yes. Excuse me, ladies. Is somebody? Wait, hold on. Excuse me, ladies. Is somebody here for the long arm of the law?
Oh my God, you guys, you didn't.
It's like, oh no, Trisha actually has a bunch of Coke in the bathroom. We need to flush it. Anyway,
I'll take a look at that.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so they deployed a taser to bring him under control. At one point, the scuffle ended up with two officers and Sosha getting wrapped up in the taser wires and Kling getting shot.
Oh God, what a fucking Three Stooges cops to tase themselves.
So Sosha, the man is facing 2 counts of level 5 felony battery to a police officer, causing bodily injury.
Fucking tase him.
He didn't tase him himself.
The cop tased himself. You can't get mad. You can't give this guy battery towards a police officer because the police officer tased himself.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. But he is a Class A misdemeanor of resisting law enforcement. Fair. And Class B misdemeanor, public nudity. Yes, absolutely. Those are objective. But what if his clothes are invisible because he's from the future? Anyway, okay. I can't get into it. Okay. Both officers... I'm just saying. Okay. Both officers reported receiving minor injuries in the scuffle, who was naked during the entire encounter. Police were called at about 12:30 p.m. to a business on the street after seeing running around in a field near the business, then ran into the business, then outside to a parking lot where he rubbed himself against a vehicle, said a probable cause affidavit filed in the Steuben Superior Court written by Officer Kling. The police approached the man, but he instead charged at the officer, jumping up and wrapping his arms and legs around him. Officer Kling spun and took the man to the ground, striking his head against Kling's vehicle in the process. The man was told to lie on the ground, but he continued to resist, court records said, but he was warned by Justice that if he didn't stop resisting, he would be tased.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so. It's kind of boring.
I think that something in the future, in the timeline, needed Kling to get tased. Had this time traveler with his invisible clothes not made this officer tase himself, there might be a 9.0 earthquake in, Los Angeles. Who knows, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a reason. Or maybe this was a naked man in the middle of a breakdown and a couple goofy officers, one who tases himself and one whose name is Jason Justice, just happened to have a little wild day in Michigan. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, his original name was like Bob Gibson, but he was like, "Oh, I've been sworn into an officer of the law. My new name is Jason Justice."
Imagine getting pulled over and you look at the person's name and it's Officer Justice.
He's like, "No, can I get your actual name?"
Yeah, I wouldn't roll down the window. I would call 911 and be like, "Can you confirm that I'm being pulled over by a real cop right now?"
Yeah, I would think it was like a murderer. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I would think it was somebody impersonating an officer.
Like Jason, like Officer Justice is going to turn around and go back to his car and he's going to be wearing assless chaps.
Yeah. He's going to keep me in like a hole in his base. If he arrests me, he's going to be like, "She was a big old fat girl." Like, keep me in a hole in his basement.
What are you, about a size 14? All right. From today.com, a Chick-fil-A store in North Carolina is trying to recruit, quote, volunteers who are only paid in food to work there.
This is why we should rebel against capitalism.
Yeah, this is not good. This is, because they're all franchisees, so maybe there's not complete regulation, but North Carolina's minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, and this place is like, "Hey, work here for an hour and we'll give you 5 free entrees per shift."
Yeah. So they posted on their Facebook page, of course, and they were looking for volunteers. The Facebook post has been deleted a day later, but the backlash was swift.
Well, yeah.
So anyway, that most people were like, this should be reported to the State Department of Labor. A for-profit business aren't allowed to use volunteers, especially not volunteers who would displace paid employees. It's a huge liability issue for the store. The national median monthly rent price is $2,000 or 466 Chick-fil-A sandwiches, tweeted one user.
This post has been deleted. Yeah. But they did write in the comments, "Thanks for everyone's concern on this matter. It's a volunteer-based opportunity, which means people can opt in to volunteer if they think it's a good fit for them." Yeah, they said multiple people have been willing to sign up, and we're still hiring full-time and part-time members. So if you're interested in working in our store, we pay $19 an hour. That's like over double what the minimum wage is in North Carolina. They're really paying people $19 an hour?
Sounds great, but still not okay for a for-profit business to hire volunteers for work, according to the U.S. Department of Labor under the Fair Labor Standards Act.
I don't think that Chick-fil-A has commented on this either, like the actual company Chick-fil-A.
Well, the Chick-fil-A itself said most restaurants are individually owned and operated, and it was a program at an individually owned restaurant.
That's so they had out.
Yeah, they had no comment because they're like, "Not us, them." And it's like, well,
that's your fucking name on the side. Yeah, it is you.
Yeah, fucking punish them. Yeah.
But also, leave it to Chick-fil-A for being fucking terrible and unaccountable.
You brine your chicken and you hate gay people. Chick-fil-A. I was hired to write a jingle for Chick-fil-A through an ad agency, and when I was brought in, that was it. You brine your chicken, you hate gay people, and then it went into like a refrain and a chorus, and then like when the chorus came in, and then there was like a piano. They hated it, and I got fired. But
is this true?
No.
Oh, I was like, wow, that's crazy. You started an ad agency and you were like, time to do damage.
Yeah. I feel like I would have told you if I were ever hired by an ad agency.
I don't fucking know.
No, it's fair. I've had a lot of weird jobs, so this would yeah,
You'd
this would be,
also suggest that I put gasoline on my legs. So
but
I
that's
don't,
real.
I expect nothing from you. Let's go down to Florida, please.
Okay. I feel like this is something I've been this level of drunk.
Oh, no.
I'm just gonna say I don't understand this man, but I empathize with him.
From TampaFP.com, a drunk Florida man calls 911 because girlfriend wished to eat Sour Patch Kids. A very drunk one, I guess. But he's a 37-year-old male who called 911 at 11:45 p.m. to report his girlfriend eating Sour Patch Kids.
No, not eating them. Wished to eat Sour Patch Kid. It wasn't the act of, it was the wanting to.
So, like he got questioned on why he needed the cops, and he said it says that he just smiled and walked away with no explanation. So he was placed under arrest, and he refused to put his hands behind his back, and so he had to this really escalated bad for this guy. I'm just curious, did he think that his girlfriend was like, I'm gonna go eat some kids?
I don't, yeah, was he like, is this QAnon? And he's like, my girlfriend's a satanic, she's gonna eat Sour Patch Kids, like she's, yeah, is this Q? Is he Q? Did she think like she's some satanic pedophile and is gonna actually sacrifice and eat kids somehow?
I'll tell you what, though, that girlfriend was smart because she's not brought up. I don't think the police even questioned her. So
she's fucking getting out. She's out there in Florida fucking eating kids.
Yeah. Oh, you called the cops? I'm out of here. I'm fucking out of here. I'm going to walk to 7-Eleven, go get my Sour Patch Kids. And if there's some cops out front, I'm not coming back.
This story is inaccurate because this should say Florida man calls 911 because ex-girlfriend wished to eat Sour Patch Kids.
Well, maybe they worked it out.
Well,
it is
all right. I'm just saying there's a fucking bitch out in Florida eating kids and we're not looking into it. This is the media distracting us.
Wow.
All right. This is how I turn Q. All right.
Please don't do that.
Calm down. What if I did? What would you do? How would you pull me out?
How would I pull you out of QAnon?
Yeah. Let's role play.
Well, what's Winston doing?
Nope, this isn't about Winston.
Well, it is, though, because
it has to be a two-prong affront.
Yeah, because is he in it or have you already lost him?
He's also concerned. He's not in it. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't lost him, but he's like, we gotta bring her back.
I think I'd like to hear you out first.
Okay. Yeah, hear the crazy out. Okay.
Sure. And then I think I would like to maybe see how we can segue the conversation into how you got there, because I don't think that you can just say to them, I'm sorry, that's not true.
You'd like for me to say, let me show you these YouTube videos and documents that I found? Yeah. You're going to let me expose you?
Let's go down together. It's like the video, like the Ring video. You got 7 days from seeing this video.
You have 7 days.
QAnon.
And then Taylor's going to become cute.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then, we'll all be QAnon together.
All right. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Well, speaking of becoming all together.
Can I say one more thing about QAnon?
Yes.
Because things are going so bad in the world and it seems that they're kind of getting their way in some areas, you'd think, wow, ignorance must be bliss. But they seem really stressed out all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm stressed out all the time because women are legitimately losing their rights in different states. And I don't think I'm still as stressed out as them who are if I believed that the liberal elites were sucking the blood of children to stay young, that's fucking stressful. So like, I don't even know if I believe this whole ignorance is bliss thing anymore.
No, yeah, they like, yes, it must be genuinely stressful to think the way that they do. I mean, I'm not empathizing with them, but to be under that and to think that you're the only ones that know it and are trying to show the world, like what's that?
Like, when
like
Trump's
the sky is falling, this guy, like the Chicken Little, where you're like, the fucking sky is falling, and everyone's like, calm down, Chicken Little, and you're like, no, no, literally the sky is falling. Yeah.
Trump's raid on Mar-a-Lago, like that must have been really fucking hard for them. Like they're gonna find his angel wings. Sorry. I don't
the newest I don't know, like now that I don't know, I heard a thing where the people are saying that, I don't know whose conspiracy theory this is, that Ivana was buried with confidential documents because she had 10 pallbearers, because it's like a 100-pound woman needed 10 pallbearers. And I was like, I gotta stop interneting for today. Turn that off.
So like, you said that and I'm like, maybe they should check. Like so like, I'm no better than anybody else. Okay, one more thing, because I don't want to come too hard on our sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't want to be too hard on our QAnon listeners.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Daily about this whole Mar-a-Lago thing. And like, if you know me from, I think I've talked about on this podcast, but definitely if you listen to me on Nooner podcast, I have a weird obsession with Michael Barbaro. Like when he goes, like, I just like kind of want to kiss him. So this is like my first time listening to the Daily in like a hot minute, because honestly the news is so stressful and scary that I had to take a break and just like listen to novels. But I was like, I want to know what's going on with this Mar-a-Lago thing. Okay, spoiler alert, like probably nothing, like Trump's not going to go to jail like for any of this. Just let's put that out there. It's very obvious. But it was so funny to hear Michael Barbaro like desperately try to frame questions in a way to get this investigator to say or to suggest that Trump could go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they know that the people who subscribe to the New York Times and listen to the Daily would love to see Trump in prison. But it's like, it's almost like I would prefer, like, don't hate to burst everyone's bubble, but like, he's not going to go to jail for this. Like, he's going to get a fine at best for this. And I don't know. It was just like, I almost was like kind of fun and annoying. I was like, liberal elite. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, I thought I would tip the scales in both directions right now. Make sure that we stay a politically neutral podcast.
Jeez. Yeah.
I know, Erica. I know you hate how politically neutral we are.
I know. Speaking of like just neutrals and just people that are just good people,
I love
politically neutrals, and I feel like they've been vilified for too long.
Well, some of them are villains. There's villains in every group.
I guess there's villains everywhere, but I just feel like we've really just come down on people that are just a family.
Yeah, I mean, Juggalo family.
So from the Daily Beast, last weekend was the Gathering, which is the annual gathering of the Juggalos, the diehard fans of the Insane Clown Posse.
They reconvened for more mayhem at their annual gathering in Thornville, Ohio. And a Juggalo was overheard saying, "The best part of the gathering is the gathering." And it makes sense.
It's like a Yogi Bear, the baseball player, like a Yogi, not Yogi Bear,
Yogi Berra,
or Yogi Berra-ism. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a music festival, but more than anything, it's just a way for them to come together. Take Coachella
Mm-hmm.
and combine it with a sprinkle of meth, a dash of Faygo, and everyone has kids like that aren't there, but like they have kids. Yeah. I'm trying to tread lightly because like I think that the Juggalos are a very fascinating people, but they are okay. Take Coachella and take Stagecoach and Burning Man, and then mash them all together and then remove all the glamour from it, like the kind of things that you wouldn't want to post on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then just and again just a sprinkle of meth, and I think you are now in the territory of what the Gathering of the Juggalos is. It's freedom.
It's a hedonistic family reunion.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So even though the Juggalos were controversially, what the fuck am I saying? Say that word.
Where is it? Controversially?
Controversially, yeah. What's wrong with me?
That's okay. It's okay.
They were controversially classified as a loosely organized hybrid gang by the FBI back in 2011 and sparked lawsuits and a march on Washington, D.C. There are no signs of it here. What I wouldn't have given to be in Washington, D.C. to see the march of Juggalos in 2011. Oh, yeah. Like the insurrection, but Juggalos. Like,
wow.
Is that a comedy sketch?
Like, they wouldn't have broken into the Capitol, honestly. They would have just gotten the steps sticky with Faygo.
Yes. Yes, yeah.
And like maybe like some mud wrestling.
Yeah.
What's okay, so I'm from Colorado originally, and there are a lot of Juggalos there. Or at least there were when I was growing up in like high school and stuff. Like it was very much a present thing. By the way, I went to high school in Burbank, sorry, but my cousins still went to high school out there. It was a very present thing to be a Juggalo. There was Juggalos and Juggalettes in my family at one point. It just is what it is. The music is intense, kind of like rapping,
gangster rap even. Yeah,
sure, but like goofy gangster rap.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
and
theatrical horror inspired lyrics.
Yeah, like I want to cut you with a hatchet because you are a stupid bitch. Like that's like a really good impression, I think, of ICP's
very
music.
good. Yeah,
thank you. So they did an album series called the Joker Cards, of course. And I believe I want to say it's the 6th Joker card, although in a traditional deck of cards, wouldn't you only have 2 to 4? It doesn't matter. In the final Joker card album, there was a song that a lot of Juggalos just kind of like Game of Thrones fans choose to ignore the last season of Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. Many Juggalo fans choose to ignore this final Joker card album, specifically this song, because it's all, what do you think this dark carnival and clowning's all about? Truth is, we follow God. It's right. It's been in front of you the whole time. Like, it's like to say like that their music this whole time has been wildly Christian and religious. And you know, we love all of our Juggalo family, and our dark Satan carnival is actually Jesus, like whatever. It's crazy. It's again, I mean, this is in the mid 2000s, but it really rocked the world of some people that I knew through my cousins who were Juggalos. I'm like, oh yeah, so turns out they're Christian. They're like, we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to listen to that. It's fine. It was weird. It's cool, but like I like their earlier stuff about like homies and stuff.
Yeah, the lineup is you know, they've had multiple members, but mostly it consists of Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope.
Yes,
but D Lyrical, Kid Villain, John Kick Jazz, and Greasy have been previous members. Juggalos itself could be a a spin-off of a racial term. It's a whole thing. Ooh,
I think there's a lot of dancing on some lines here with the juggalos, but ultimately they just want to go and they want to drink 40s and they want to camp and they want to be free for a weekend. And I saw a documentary about it, and like they were interviewing like this guy in just full face paint, nipples pierced, a 40 taped to his hand, but he was like doing his aside with this documentary. He's like, oh yeah, I'm actually a doctor. It's like fucking amazing. Like sometimes
really,
let your freak flag fly for a weekend.
The diversity within the juggalo, that should be studied. If I were getting a PhD, I would try to do like the dynamical diversity within the juggalos, like the people that identify as juggalos.
Yeah, I think it would surprise us.
I do want to attend a gathering one day. Maybe if we get enough, supporters on the Anchor subscriptions, we could
there you go.
Get the money to go to a gathering. But this year's
I need to go to Ohio.
Oh fuck.
I'm just sorry. Everyone I met from Ohio is very pleasant.
Ohio's beautiful. But this year's activity, one of the events was a Bigfoot seminar about the existence of Bigfoot.
Ugh, of course.
And
it was.
There was a Miss Juggalette beauty pageant, which I would have fucking swept.
No, you wouldn't have, Erica, because you don't have white woman dreads. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to say it. There's a lot of women with dreadlocks there.
I would have gotten them.
Like raver, cool colored dreadlocks that, again, walk an interesting line.
We'll post photos of the gathering on our social media. And if you haven't, I feel like people misconceive the juggalos a lot. And again, it's really like everyone you've ever talked to about it, they're like, yeah, I'm here to look at titties and fuck is this. But when you get to like the second sentence of why they're there, they always say it's about family. This is home. Like it's always
that's how
about family.
Get into every fucking Thanksgiving family gathering. I'm here to look at titties and smoke weed and get fucked up out of my fucking zoinked out of my brain, and because it's important to be around family.
Yes. It's I don't know. They've got community, and it's like that's what it's about. So good on them.
I'm looking at a great photo of two men sharing a long bong while a group of people watch them from camping chairs smoking cigarettes.
No homophobia here. You know what I mean? No homo.
Yeah, it's very nice. The one of the man, he has a tattoo of the Cottonmouth Kings. He has a weed leaf coming out of his armpit, like tattoo. He also has tattooed on his bicep Hakuna Matata. So we take all types. They take all types.
Mm-hmm. My favorite photo is a gentleman who is just in a cowboy hat, but he is what you might call naked, except for he's wearing a Crown Royal bikini, and that's the only thing covering him. Is just his underwear is just a sack of Crown Royal.
Huh. Yep, I see him.
And that feels very like home folks to me, like someone I would see in like, Oklahoma, just again, it's about family.
I'm looking at that photo and I feel like I can smell it. I can smell this photo.
Yeah.
It smells like cheap weed, sweat, and dirt.
Yeah.
And gasoline, as a matter of fact.
I bet they'd let me get that paint off him right fucking quick. I bet if a juggalo was covered in paint, I could take him out to a gas station and that shit would be off of him quick, Cassandra.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, speaking of family and, whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah,
this is a juggalo move.
This
is a juggalo move.
Anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. This is a full juggalo move from the NewYorkPost.com. Shocking video shows groom expose bride's affair with her brother-in-law at wedding.
Okay. Shows groom expose bride's affair with her brother-in-law at the wedding. This is confusing, you know.
Headline.
Yes. So is she cheating on the groom with his brother?
His brother. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because it's like, because she could have another brother-in-law. So it's like, you think that they would just say groom, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Wait. No. So the guest of the newlyweds in China. So the groom exposes his bride's affair at the wedding, playing an X-rated video of her in bed with another man. Guests at the wedding can be seen looking on in horror as a steamy bedroom scene features the bride and her new husband's brother-in-law plays out on the projector at the couple's reception. So his sister's husband.
Okay. And so his sister, by the way, was pregnant.
No.
Let me just. So a lot of people were on the man's side saying she got what she deserved. Best revenge in front of all her family and friends. Honestly, I'm petty and I would 1,000%, do this and blah, blah, blah. But then some people pointed out, like, wasn't this at the reception? Like, didn't you already marry her? Like, why did you waste all that money to do this? Why did you say I do? Like, all of this shit. And some people, she's the one who got mad. I don't know. I hate to take the side of like the person who's cheating, but I don't know if this is how you handle it.
Well, the groom can be heard shouting, "Did you think I didn't know about this?" Which is like, again, I feel like this is like a everyone sucks here situation where it's like, she shouldn't have cheated. He should have confronted when he found out and been like, hey, the wedding's off. You all suck and you're not a part of my life anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and saved all that money. And then you could have made a video on your own and been like, hey, the wedding's off because of this. You didn't have to literally bring all the families together, spend all that fucking money.
He could have just started a TikTok and started doing comedy like everyone else does when they go through a breakup. It's I'm watching the video now because I realized I didn't really watch it before. So it's like a montage of like heart balloons, and then wow, they realize what it is quick. Yikes. That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's just like, I like the commenter that said, not her throwing flowers at him. The audacity. Audacity is one of my absolute favorite feelings and emotions and words in this world. Audacity.
The audacity.
Audacity. But yeah, it's there was different ways to handle it. So, but yeah, it's a mess. Yeah.
There's other ways to ruin people's lives who have hurt you.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of ways to ruin people's lives, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, girl.
It's time for the dumpster fire of the week.
Oh my God. This comes to us from onlysky.media. A Texas church illegally performed Hamilton to spread anti-gay bigotry. So I think they might have had to change the script.
Yes. Hamilton, for those of you who have lived under a rock, is a musical about some of our founding fathers.
Alexander Hamilton.
Alexander
Gonna
Hamilton.
give up my shot.
And that's all we can say without being legally sued.
Which is perfect because I don't remember much else about it. I did watch it on Disney Plus though, and I thought it was pretty good.
I like the soundtrack. Yeah, very much enjoy. Great. teach
Pretty good.
people history, fun, great, uses people of color in the telling, even though they weren't many back then.
It's good stuff. I mean, they were there back then. They just
they were there.
They were there
in the story.
Yeah.
Basically, so these Christians at the Door McAllen Church in Texas ignored that "thou shalt not steal" commandment and did an illegal staging of the production. So they previewed the show in a sermon on August 3rd in a video previewed, which has been taken down. And it's not even a cringeworthy Christian parody. It's like the musical. It's a high budget attempt at replicating it, except for in this version, Hamilton gets saved after his son gets killed in a duel.
Hamilton allegedly says, "What is a legacy? It's knowing you repented and accepting the gospel of Jesus Christ that sets men free. You sent your sinless Son of Man on Calvary to die for me." So is Hamilton Jesus or is he God? I don't know the Bible well enough.
No,
and Hamilton well enough to make the connection.
No, he's saying, Jesus, you what is legacy? Knowing you repented and accepted the gospel of Jesus Christ. Like, is he saying
Hamilton's all of us?
Yeah. He's like, oh,
wow.
Christ died and set men free. Christ dying set men free. You sent your sonless man on Calvary to die for me and my sins.
And then the call to action at the end is the pastor coming back and saying, God can help you tonight if you're struggling with alcohol, drugs, or homosexuality.
So yeah, they didn't. So again, the article's like, to recap, they did an unlicensed production of a musical, changed the story to suggest Hamilton found Jesus, and used the whole thing to tell people to stop being gay.
Hey, nothing gets people to not be gay than a musical.
So basically the big thing is like, nobody has the rights to produce Hamilton.
No, that ain't public property yet.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, nobody, so even worse. So the Texas church live streamed the Friday performance on YouTube, which is super illegal. To watch it on Disney Plus, you had to the Disney Plus had to pay the company $75 million to obtain those streaming rights.
Yeah.
And so the church did this basically, and then it's like, okay, bad. They then made that video private because they were like, oh, this is bad.
Oopsies.
And it's like, also, there's not a music pit. So they weren't playing live music, which means if they're using a backing track, that's another huge issue because backing tracks are copyrighted. So without using permission, that's also way against the law.
And because they didn't change enough of it, they're not protected by any sort of parody law.
Right. Like, if they had done, yeah, exactly.
If they would have changed more, maybe, and made it more religious, then they might have gotten away with it. But whose idea was this at this church? Hey, you know what everyone likes? They like Hamilton. Also, nobody's been talking about Hamilton for fucking years.
Yeah.
Anyways, they got in trouble and they were like, oh, okay, we'll stop. We'll stop. No big deal. All good.
The second showing on the Eventbrite was listed as canceled.
Yeah.
Okay, they shut it down. Cool.
But secretly, they said
the show must go on.
Yeah, they're like, you're gonna see that the Eventbrite listing is canceled. However, we were able to proceed with tonight's showing. Who said they were able to proceed? Why say the show has been canceled?
Yeah. So yeah, they ripped off, all these people. They were hurt. I mean, Hamilton's not like a one-act musical.
No.
Six songs in a number. It's a huge production. So these people had to rehearse and yeah. So anyway, all the videos had been removed at one point from their church's Facebook page and all this stuff. But then on Sunday morning, the church claimed it had received permission to perform the show from, quote, the Hamilton team. Okay.
You mean the team that decided to do Hamilton, or like because it's not the actual Hamilton team?
So they took the YouTube footage down after an unnamed lawyer with the show supposedly gave us the okay to continue last night. No. Right. And then anyway, so update number 2, somebody sent the writer of this article. He says, a kind brother in Christ has sent me a copy of the full production that was downloaded before the entire video was taken off YouTube. And then he posts clips of the production, which we'll post the whole link to this article in our show notes on this episode. Update number 4. According to the Dallas Morning News, the producers of Hamilton did not give the church permission to put on the show.
Duh.
Would you like to read the quote?
Hamilton does not grant, this is a cease and desist letter. Hamilton does not grant amateur or professional licenses for any stage productions and did not grant one to the Door Church.
Yeah. So basically they Martin Luther the shit out of this church and nailed the thesis to the door.
Yeah.
they Martin. So yeah. So they said, okay. Despite the cease and desist letter, the church was allowed to move forward with Saturday Night Show as long as they didn't take pictures or videos or live stream the performance, and promised to never do this again.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. But if you haven't seen it on Disney Plus, check it out. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Looks like all those people who were freaking the fuck out about how good it was weren't too far off, because it's pretty good.
Yeah. So, and it's like the message is absolutely not that gays are bad.
Not gonna get away my shot. I don't know the fucking lyrics.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Yes.
Are you hoarding anything?
I am. I'm hoarding a show on Peacock called The Resort.
My therapist recommended that show to me as well.
It's super fun. So it stars William Jackson Harper, best known as Chidi from The Good Place, and Kristen Milioti, Nick Offerman, and lots of great people. But it's a couple goes to a resort in Mexico, and she finds a cell phone from 15 years ago about a child that, a kid, like, a college kid that had died. And then it's kind of turns into a mystery. So then there's some like parallel time storytelling of, they're trying to tell what happened 15 years ago from old, 2007 cell phone text and video images from like a flip phone versus what's happening now. It's really, really fun. And it's a mystery and it's really cute. And yeah, it's really, really good. I like it a lot. So cool. On Peacock. Yeah. Streaming on Peacock. And the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust is the trust where I, quote, bought an elephant. And I helped adopt and foster Eleanor. She's a 63-year-old elephant out in the wild, but they have elephants of all ages from, calves to, again, Eleanor is the oldest elephant in the pack and, available that they help. So Sheldrick Wildlife Trust, I'll post a link on our social media as well if you would like to get involved with the organization and support elephants in the wild and yourself. So those are the 2 things I'm hoarding this week. So yeah. What about you?
I'm hoarding. If you're in the Los Angeles area, there is a wonderful consignment store, right? Where you can buy and sell clothes. That's what that is.
Yeah.
There's a wonderful consignment store in Highland Park called the Plus Bus. They only carry clothing over size 12, which if you are over size 12, you can probably attest that thrift store shopping and sometimes even consignment store shopping is a little difficult. Shopping in general can be a little difficult in person, I feel like it's all too often you're over a size 12 and they go, oh yeah, we carry those sizes, but on our website. So this place is awesome. People buy and sell clothing there or you can swap clothing there. The staff is really, really nice. I went shopping there last weekend. I had a fantastic time. I bought like 4 dresses and 2 pairs of jeans. They've got nice like clothes for events. They've got clothes for every day. I had a fucking great time. And I was like, man, I've seen this place on like line, like on like listicles and things, but I never actually went in and did it. I had so much fun because it was like overwhelming. It's been a long time since I've been able to like go into a store and not have to worry that they're not going to carry my size, because stores do be like that. There's just places where I won't even go and shop anymore because I'm like, that's a waste of my time. Like, their extra large is the same size as a small at Old Navy. Like, this isn't going to work. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I had a great time. If you're at this moment, they only that I saw, they only sell women's clothing, but take a woman in your life if you want to, because like 2 doors down is there ice cream place that does soft serve called Magpies, and I had some of the best like vegan soft serve I've ever had in my life. So overall, just a really great day of shopping and soft serve. It's on York Boulevard, Highland Park. And follow them on Instagram. They do live events, and sometimes they do special sales. Like they'll do sales of size 22 and up, which is really, really cool because those are sizes that really, really don't get acknowledged a lot by modern fashion. And so they'll do special sales specifically for clothes over size 22. And it's just giving a lot of acknowledgement and inclusivity to women who often don't get. I mean, we've talked about it on this podcast about like, we're both trying to quit Shein, but like Shein for a long time was the only place that was selling trendy clothing in sizes that were, big enough for people who are over a size 12. Yeah. So anyways, it was fucking great. I loved it.
And if you go to Magpies, go to get their fried pie, their fried vegan pie. It is my absolute favorite, one of my absolute favorite desserts, maybe of all time, but especially in LA. It is It's crunchy. It has honeycomb, vegan honeycomb. It's just a delight. Magpies fried vegan pie.
I got the vegan cookie butter soft serve, and I was like, I think I said to the employee, this makes me nervous because it was that good. I bought a pint of it and brought it home rather than getting, a scoop at the store. I was like, I'm going to want a pint of this. I don't want to share it with a loved one. It was fucking $12. It was a $12 pint of ice cream. And I was like, okay, fine. I think that's expensive in retrospect. But at the time I was like, of course it is. It's delicious.
Yeah.
What are you throwing out?
Okay. I'm throwing out the Stanley Adventure Quencher Travel Tumbler.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
No, that's very specific.
It's just one of those like vacuum sealed like hydration mugs, and it's like one of those things that like keeps your hots and your colds and your ices for so many days. But the thing is, it's always sold out, so people are reselling them for like
weird
$200. It's like $40 in the store, which isn't crazy for a vacuum seal mug, but people are reselling them for like $200 online, and they're like this super trendy item. When I'm like, there are equal value items out there, but it's just like fucking ridiculous, and people drink from them every day. And as Jessica Curry Maxfield said, wash your cup, you nasties. Wow. Wash your cup, you nasties. And I said, I'm gonna quote it, but it's just like this status symbol.
I'm looking at it. It's funny. Poor hockey. I typed in Stanley Cup because I couldn't remember all the. I was literally like, "Oh, this will pull it up," and I wasn't wrong. The Stanley Cup for hockey came up, but also like higher than that were the ads for this Stanley Adventure Quencher Cup. So yeah, we really need to do better about hockey. They're doing their best.
Yeah, but, hockey's been denied for too long.
Yeah, I could buy this at Costco. Not this brand, but I could buy this exact thing. It's just a fucking insulated cup with a handle and a straw.
Yeah, I recently watched a great comedian. I think I posted on our trashy link, but it was like, I recently saw a guy's hat that said, I'm an alcoholic and I love drinking outdoors and I want everyone to know it. And I was like, wow, that's a very specific hat. And he said, well, it didn't say all that. It just said Yeti.
That's funny.
Ooh, got him. But yeah,
Got him.
just like the there are other mugs. It's the status symbol of having a Stanley. And I'm like,
The $40 Stanley mug from Williams Sonoma.
yeah. And drinking from it every day. And it's just like, again, Jessica Curry Maxfield said it. Wash your cup, you nasties. Anyway.
My mom drinks out of cups like this, not the name brand ones, but like she's got just the big, like, it's almost a joke. Like, the bigger we can find these cups, the more we're like, should we buy this from my mom? Because she just needs bigger and bigger cups with handles. But it has gotten to a point where they're too big, and then the joke's not funny because she won't use them because they don't fit in her cup holder.
Oh, I drink from insulated cups all the time. I mean, I just bought one that is a Sonic branded one, and it's gorgeous. But it's from Sonic, and it's so nice. But you know, I love an insulated mug. I love that style. But it but buying them for $200+ when it's just absurd. Anyway, what are you throwing out?
I didn't know until right before we started this podcast, and my partner sneezed louder than thunder. I have been haunted by loud sneezers my entire life. My mom sneezes so fucking loud. And like, now Taylor sneezes loud, you sneeze loud, just like huge sneezes. This is a choice. And if you tell me it's not,
it's
not. No. Like, if you're a loud sneezer, see what happens if you just try. Like, I can sneeze loud if I want to. When I feel a sneeze coming on, I could fucking scream if I wanted to. Lord knows you all do. But like, I have self-control, and so I sneeze at a normal volume. My old roommate was a loud sneezer too, and I'm like, I would hear from the other room. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you scare the shit out of people when you guys do this. I'm throwing out loud sneezes. Get help.
It's not a joy. It's not an option.
Go to sneeze conversion therapy.
Okay. Because you heard it here first, guys. Cassandra advocates for sneeze conversion therapy.
Yeah, just it like frightens me when that happens, like, because it always comes out of nowhere, as sneezes are ought to do. So, like someone just kind of having a conversation, like a gentle sneeze, it's like, oh, bless you. But like, you're just like trying to live your life, and all of a sudden you're like, what? Where's the fire? Like, how dare you? You made me jump out of my skin because you fucking sneezed? No.
Sounds like a you problem.
It's an everyone else problem. I'm the only rational one. Listeners, write in if you think I'm right about this loud sneezing thing. If you're a loud sneezer, get help. What are you throwing out?
I already did.
Oh my God, I forgot because I got so angry. I'm literally looking at the Stanley Cup right now.
You don't even listen to me.
Hey, if you are looking for this podcast online, you can find us at Trashy Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can find our email address, trashypodcast@gmail.com, our website, trashypodcast.com. Please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. It helps us out a lot. And send us an email. Let us know why you're trash. Send us stories. We really love when you guys do that. We might set up something down the line to make that easier. I don't know, but just do it like this in the meantime. How do you like that? I shook it up.
And at the bottom of our episodes, you can go to below the dumpster fire of the week in the episode notes. You can go to support this podcast at anchor.fm/trashy/support. And that's where you can sign up for $9.99 for 99 cents in that month, $9.99 a month. And if we get 10 supporters at the $9.99 a month, hell, I'll even do it for 10 supporters at the 99 cents a month range, I will put gasoline on Cassandra's legs against her will at a gas station. I don't know if she consents to this, but I will. I will surprise attack Cassandra at a gas station and do like a gas fight, like in Zoolander.
They all died in that. I can't emphasize this enough. Please support our podcast. I am not putting gasoline on my legs.
Again, support this podcast.
We'll go to the Gathering of the Juggalos next year. I'm down to do that. But I'm not putting, you know what? I'm going to end up with gas on my legs if we go to the Gathering next year. So at least the paint will get off of me eventually.
But where can the people find you, Cassandra?
At Cass Cardenas on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on the Nooner podcast. We've been taking a couple weeks off, but they'll come back. We'll come back. Where do they find you?
At Iconic Erica Curry. And that's where I want to be found. Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye.